Welcome back to week 10 of the Fantasy Football Formula. This is our NFL betting show. We're going to go game by game, give you our favorite picks of the week. We each have 5 picks. Last week went 3-1 with our locks. Do you guys have anything to say before we get into it?
It's
Yeah,
pretty nice when you can hit your lock basically at halftime. So not even a sweat in the Bears Dolphins over. Love to see it.
Yeah, the
yeah.
Jaguars were a
I'm
little more
sorry, I
split.
I broke our perfect record for the lock. Missed to the Vikings game by a half point.
That was
I guess
brutal.
that's what I get for talking all that trash last week, saying I'm like Jordan Belfort out here with the picks. But how it goes sometimes, Vegas knows.
No.
True. But we'll get right into it. Starting at Thursday Night Football, we have the Falcons going to play the Panthers. Short week. Nick, what do you got here? This is your
Yeah,
lock.
this is my lock of the what?
Go ahead.
This is my lock of the week. Going with Marcus Moneyman. Primetime game Thursday night. Falcons have been slept on all year, and to see -3 points, glad it doesn't have that half right now. I'm taking it because Panthers are probably the worst football team in the NFL right now. I think at halftime last week they had 7 total passing yards, so not a very powerful offense there. And we see Cordell Patterson came back in the game, scored a quick touchdown. So love to see him healthy. He's a big playmaker. Yeah, ended the day with 2. So obviously they're happy to have him back, and I think they're even going to keep the alligator Tyler Algier back in that backfield. So I think they got run heavy offense against the Panthers, should do pretty well. Divisional matchup here. Liking this one for the Falcons, kind of chasing that first place spot in the NFC South too. So I think they're going to go into this game pretty tough.
Yeah, I'm on the complete opposite side of that game. I'm taking the Panthers +3 here. I don't think there's much of a difference between these two teams. They're both bad teams. And you're getting 3 points against a bad team on a short week. I absolutely love this spot. I was debating for this to be my lock on the opposite side of you, Nick, but I have another one I'm a little more confident in. But yeah, I love the Panthers in this spot. I think DJ Moore could have last time they played the Falcons. DJ Moore had that crazy catch at the end of the game. I think this is going to be more of an under game, like just not a lot of offense. But I still think like DJ Moore, Terrence Marshall could have a big game.
Yeah, and they're still
Yeah,
rolling out
Terrence
PJ
Marshall's
Walker,
definitely
Yeah,
breaking
they're
out.
still rolling out PJ Walker.
which is I don't understand that.
Yeah, they probably should go back to Darnold.
Probably they traded for him.
Yeah.
So probably should use something that you gave away. So
Yeah, but yeah, the Panthers +3. Love it. All right. Next game, we have the Seahawks. The Gino is just on fire right now. Like, just comeback player of the year favorite has to be right now. He's going.
keep going.
Do you disagree with what I just
How
said?
can he be a comeback player of the
Most
year?
improved. Most improved.
Or most improved,
Okay.
whatever, one of those awards, whatever he fits the category for. I mean, it is comeback when you go from not playing to doing what he's doing. Whatever, they're going to
Do you
play.
think he's not doing well, Corey?
Yeah.
What's the hesitation?
No, I'm not saying he's not doing well. I'm just saying
Okay, well, he should be the leading candidate for one of those 2 awards and should probably win it unless he just completely tanks the rest of the year. But yeah, they're going to play the Bucks. The Bucks are favored by 2.5. Corey, I have a feeling just based off of just what.
I like what the Seahawks are doing this year. I really do. This game's actually being played in Munich, Germany.
Oh yeah,
Germany.
this is a Germany game.
8:30 start time. So set your clocks early. We have football from 8 o'clock till 8 o'clock.
Old man Brady got to wake up in the morning. Oof.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe he'll find himself a nice German girl and his game will be back. You never know.
Very well could. That's what I'm expecting. I'm taking the Bucks here -2.5. I have liked what the Seahawks have done. No one expected them to be here at this point in time. They were expected to have, I think the over/under was 5.5 games on the season, and they're one of the two teams that have topped that.
Jets.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, the thing about the Seahawks is that they're just so, their defense is not like that good, and they give up a lot of points.
Been very good recently.
They've gotten better. But I think with what the Bucks are doing, especially last week, that comeback win was huge. And I think that's a huge confidence boost to moving forward. I mean, can you imagine talking about the playoffs this year and not having Tom Brady in it?
Yeah, I can.
I mean, I just don't see how that's happening. I think it's one of the worst divisions right now in the NFL with two of the worst teams in it. Possibly three, possibly four. All these teams could suck. I mean, somebody's got to win that division, and I think the Bucks have the most complete team to do that with, especially with their offense. -2.5. I will take that in a heartbeat. So give me the Bucks here and old man Tommy to cover this line at 2.5.
Yeah, the Seahawks have been good to me this year, but I got a feeling that in the international game, Tom Brady, the sport's biggest icon, I feel like the NFL.
Got the hand on the switch on this one.
I think Brady. I agree with you, Corey. I like the Bucks here.
All right. Well, moving on to the next game, we got the Lions going to play the Chicago Bears in Chicago.
Can we just spend the rest of the time talking about how good Justin Fields is? I've been waiting all week.
Justin
He's so
Fields.
good.
We got a guy. Let's go. We got a guy.
So
I'm an
so
interim
I just
for the
want
time
just so
being.
if he takes somehow the rest of the year, whatever, we have it on record. We have how out of all of you, all three of you in on Justin Fields?
Yeah, I think all you need out of Justin Fields is showing some signs of hope.
No, but are
And
you
the
in on
past
thinking
3
he's a
weeks-
good quarterback?
I was
Yeah,
never
yeah, I
out
think-
on that.
I
I know
think that
you
they're
were.
finally
I know you
playing
were
him right.
holding, but you weren't completely out, but you were starting to like.
It wasn't the start of the season was not looking good, and then whatever
They let
did,
him play his game. They
Nick,
finally let him run.
Nick, you were out on Fields. I have the text to prove it. You're back
That's
in,
fine.
which is fine. You can be
You know what?
back.
You got to
in.
be able to pivot. Games get played week over
Okay.
week. His last
Great.
3 weeks, he's put together complete performances against the Dolphins, the
Cowboys.
help me out here, Alex.
Cowboys.
Against the Cowboys, one of the best defenses in the NFL, and he absolutely crushed it. DFS player, amazing. Got me in the Millie Maker for 2 lines last week.
In the money.
So, yeah, we're in the money with Jay Fields, baby.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure it's on record. Corey, we have to get your take. Are you in on Justin Fields, out, or you still don't know?
If they keep allowing him to do what they're doing, they open up the playbook for him to like actually be an athlete, which is he's a very good athlete. I think it builds his confidence, and moving forward, I like what he's doing. Yes.
Okay. Well,
I will say they need to get a better third down play besides like a play action, like slant route.
They did
that like 8 times.
It's all a work in progress, but
Yeah,
like you were saying, Nick, like the trend line and the trajectory of this season has given lots of Bears fans hope. And that's
right,
something
well,
we have not had in a long time. So
Nick and Alex, you can just say your pick at the same time then, because I have a feeling I know what it is.
I love the over.
Oh,
Over
okay.
48 and a
Yeah,
half.
that was going me over too.
Two of the worst defenses in the league. The Lions are actually, I think, I don't know the exact stat, but I think it was over like the last 50 years statistically the worst defense ever. Like 726th out of 726 or something like that. Bears have put up 3 straight weeks of 30 plus points, 200 plus rushing yards. And we're getting on the other side Amon-Ra and DeAndre Swift healthier by the week. Feed me the points again. I mean, I'm going back to the well. Like I said at the top of the show, Dolphins, Bears covered that basically at half. I don't see why this couldn't be the same way.
All right. And Nick, you said it was the same thing.
Yeah, I like the over too. I think Bears starting to have a good offense. We know kind of two lackluster defenses, so no brainer.
All right.
Let's ride, baby.
Well,
Big Fields guy.
Okay. Glad we have it on record. We have the Jaguars going to play the Chiefs in Kansas City. The spread's 9.5 in favor of the Chiefs. Corey, what do you got?
Yeah. So I got burned last week by the Chiefs. I don't know really what happened within that
And the
game.
Jaguars.
Okay. The Jaguars were playing arguably one of the worst teams. So
You took the Raiders, so I'm just saying you got burned.
I did take the Raiders, and the Raiders were up 17 points. So I was on the right side until the Raiders just decided not to play football again for the third
they suck.
straight time. So with that being said, the Chiefs burning me at minus 14 or 13 last week or whatever it was. Now another big spread, 9.5. I still think they absolutely destroy the Jaguars because the Jaguars are not a good team. They perform well against bad teams. Against good teams, they do not show up. I'm actually going to take the under.
They've played close in every game. I remember that was a point I made. They haven't played any game closer than 8 points.
Okay, that they still perform badly against good teams. They just somehow keep it close or whatever it might be. I don't care. You got to win games, and there's still like 1-6 ATS. But I'm going to take the under here at 50.5. I think the Chiefs probably put up 30, and I think the Jaguars maybe put up 10. Maybe. I mean, I just don't see it with the Jaguars. So I'll keep beating this drum. I mean, they are getting better, like week in and week out, but they're still a bad football team, if that makes sense. If you want to try to, dissect that. But I just like the under here at 50.5. I think Mahomes just absolutely rips apart this defense, but the Chiefs just don't have enough firepower on their offense to score points.
All right. Next game, we have Vikings going to play the Bills. Now, we did post, we several of us, I don't know if Corey, it's just not one of your picks or you're still not confident, but Alex, Nick, and myself, we posted this already to our Instagram page, Fantasy Football Formula, saying to grab the Vikings at +6 because Josh Allen, there's a good chance with that UCL injury that he's out for 2 to 4 weeks. And so we're all on that side, right? Like we're all taking Vikings +6.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I'm not a Case Keenum guy.
Yeah.
No, I think that I think this line opened at like 8.5. I even saw very briefly on Sunday when these games ended. I mean, with the chance that we get Case Keenum, I just don't see.
Even without,
right.
I mean, say Josh Allen is playing, I actually still like the Vikings.
Really?
We saw Hawkinson first game. I think he played 90% of the game, had like 7 targets, I think. So
yeah,
I love that pickup. I think he's going to be a huge centerpiece of that offense. And if teams are going to try and cover 2, just Justin Jefferson over the top, Hawkinson is going to eat with Thielen as your third wide receiver now. Absolutely love that for that offense. And you're going to have Dalvin Cook to deal with. So I love the different levels of attack that they have and they can play with. They're my second favorite team in the NFC right now. I don't think they could be stopped. So plus we saw Kirk Cousins dancing with his shirt off on a plane with like a big ass chain.
Kirk
That was pretty
Thuggins.
funny.
I feel like he's been doing
Kirk
that every
Thuggins.
week.
I
I feel like
love
I see
that. I
that
didn't
same
hear
video
that.
every week.
Kirk Thuggins. Let's go.
Yeah, the Vikings, I think, are the play, especially. I mean, I don't know where this line would go if Allen's out, but it's just that it seems like the right side here. If Allen plays, he's playing banged up. So
I will say
that kind of go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Alex.
The only thing that kind of scares me about it is he did unleash like a 70-yard dot to Gabe Davis after that hit on his elbow.
But sometimes that stuff can really start to aggravate, like after the game.
And he had surgery on it a couple of years ago, like the same type of thing. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I will say, I mean, I like the Vikings earlier this year, and they keep rolling. The one thing that scares me, I think everyone and their mother, I mean, should be on the Vikings, especially if Josh Allen's out. But like if
Well,
this
the difference is people would then wait once, let's say tomorrow it comes out, Josh Allen's out, Case Keenum starts. This line drastically moves. That's when everyone's going to be like, oh, that's when you should probably be betting Bills because everyone's going to be on the Vikings side. Whereas we're getting the early line on the Vikings before that news comes out.
Yeah, the Bills still have I mean, obviously Josh Allen is the centerpiece of that team, but I mean, they still have a very good defense that
they could still win
carry them. I mean,
yeah,
you never know with Kirk Cousins. He is a wild card. I mean,
this is one of those things where sometimes I think could be a smart thing this week. If you just don't even want to risk like losing, what you do is you just take Vikings +6 or whatever now. Wait for that news to come out, and then you just take whatever the Bills spread moves to. Let's say it moves to like Bills -1. Then you get both sides, and it's just a free roll. And if it middles it, then you win both.
You're a genius.
So you just have a free roll.
Yeah.
So I think that could be a way to play this game as well.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
So next we have the Saints going into Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. Saints are favorited by 3 because the Steelers suck. All right, Nick, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I know we got one game in Germany this week, and they should probably play this one in like Nebraska. Call it the old Dust Bowl.
Okay.
I'm going the under. These teams suck.
Under.
That's my analysis.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll Steelers +3 here. Love Mike Tomlin off of a bye week as a home dog. He's 14-2-1 ATS as a home dog past week 5 and 13-4 straight up. There's a chance we also see TJ Watt back, and obviously that's a huge difference maker. Neither of these teams have looked great, but I do like the Steelers coming off of the bye, getting a little extra time for Pickett there. And the Saints looked like dog shit against the Ravens on Monday night, so they've also got a short week. And just not liking what I'm seeing out of New Orleans right now. PB, can we get an update on like Jameis Winston? Why
I don't know what he's been injured, and then he was active, but he's just like the emergency quarterback if like Dalton went down.
Like if he got really hurt or something.
Yeah,
like no one
this
else
past
could go.
week they just went straight up with Dalton over Winston after they blew the Raiders out. So like I get that to some degree, but we'll see what they do this week. Who knows if they go back to Dalton after that performance? I'm just gonna lose all faith in like what we're doing in the office there because he had another horrific performance several weeks ago, and I just can't imagine you continually like we know what Dalton is, and he's getting older. He's only getting worse. Stop using him. Like I don't use Taysom. Just please don't use Dalton. And I think they'll use Taysom more this game. They didn't use him enough against the Ravens.
He had that one run where he just leveled. Was it Kyle Hamilton? Or was it I
don't know. He was not involved much at all. I was actually very surprised. But
also you need to figure out your supposedly really good offensive line because every single time
Dalton that's just the Ravens.
No,
that defense is insane.
They haven't been insane like this entire year. Like they got
Roquan. That's why it looks different.
They just got Roquan, but they were getting pressure with 4 guys. And then anytime they blitzed, it looked like the Saints offense line had no idea how to like shift or like actually block people. It was like, it's the same thing. It's like, if you can't tell a quarterback like, hey, like you sucked.
No, Dalton sucks.
Okay, I understand that. But like a couple weeks ago, he threw for like 450 yards against the Cardinals. Like I understand that was like in comeback mode, but like when a quarterback has time, like they can make progressions and actually, you can see. I mean, I'm not saying Dalton is great. Like your quarterback situation there is not good anyway. So
yeah,
I mean,
maybe you could get a good quarterback in the second round because you don't have a first round pick this year.
I'm just saying they just need to figure out the offensive line.
Yeah, Winston will be all right. But yeah, those are the 2 picks you guys have from this game. Next game we got the Broncos. I have 2 picks from this game, and one of them is my lock. But I got the Broncos playing. The Broncos going in play the Titans. Broncos coming off of a bye week. Titans are favored by 3. So we'll first start with not my lock. So it's the over 38.5. That line just seems way too low. Like coming off of this bye, I think this is like they paid this guy so much money. They're going to start using him, I think, a lot more, just throwing the ball. They're just gonna let him air it out, I think. And that, like, I don't know why they wouldn't do that. They have the weapons in Sutton and Judy. Think this
I like
game,
the Chase Edmonds pick too.
yeah. Well, I think the Broncos are gonna put up like 30 alone on the Titans. This Titans team, this especially their pass defense, is just absolutely horrific.
The same
Um,
defense that held Patrick Mahomes to how many points?
20
Oh, okay.
in overtime.
Continue. All right.
yeah,
It looks pretty good.
no,
Jeffrey
they're bad
Simmons is a
defense.
beast.
They're a bad defense. So yeah, I'm gonna take the over 38.5. And then my lock of the week is Broncos +3. Kind of the same reasoning I had for the over. I think coming off of a bye, Russell Wilson and this team, they paid him an astronomical amount of money. They're not going to just do this stupid run the ball, Melvin Gordon and Latavius Murray. They're going to let Russ cook. Broncos are going to get this done. I actually don't mind the money line. We're switching it. Broncos money line. We don't even need the points. Get the better odds. My lock of the week is Broncos money line. They're going to absolutely smoke the Titans.
Yeah, I like it, and I almost took it again. Broncos were kind of me 2 weeks ago, and I thought about jumping on them again. But yeah, dude, the over the 38.5. I mean,
That's
that
no
line-
points.
is-
That is,
is that-
so little points.
I know. Is that like because they think Malik Willis is still gonna be playing? Like, is that the
I
issue?
think Malik. I don't care who's quarterback for the Titans. I think the Titans. They're like, yeah, they'll probably, like, Derrick Henry could get a touchdown. I do think if they keep doing going with Malik Willis, they're gonna design so many more runs every week for him. That's how they should use him. Like,
Well, yeah,
that's
he can't pass.
Give
He
him
had some pretty nice looking ball. If you actually watched the games, he had some nice passes that just were dropped. Yeah,
he's got
fine.
a lot of time. He's very
raw.
unpolished. Yeah,
Yeah.
very raw.
But he's not raw is in the running game, and he can just fly by people. And if they had like 15 designed runs for him here, that's how they score points. But I think, again, the Broncos are going to have a very pass heavy game plan here and wreck them. All right. Next we have the Colts, the Dusty Colts, going to play the Dusty Raiders. This might be the Dust Bowl. Talk about the Saints, Steelers. This is probably the Dust Bowl of the week. Yeah. So Raiders are favored by 6.5 in Vegas. We'll start with Corey here.
No, okay. We'll start with me. Yeah, I mean, we are a trend-setting team over here in Indy. We like to hire people with no experience in coaching, except for high school, which he did have a positive record. I think he was like 20-18 as a high school head coach. So, Jeff Saturday, the move is very weird. Everyone and their
You'll be
mother
begging for Frank Reich back.
No, absolutely not. Like, if you actually sat down and watched Colts games over this past, 8 games, or no, go back even to last year, like 12 games, the Colts just never looked ready to play games. It was evident last year when they lost to the Raiders at home, lost to Jaguars, who were trying to lose. He just couldn't get teams ready. And, he had a good record, but again, he played the Texans and the Jaguars 2 times for 5 years. I mean, of course, your record's going to look inflated when you have that. But, there are a couple things that go into betting games, and one of those is a death of someone on your team. That could be, a coach's wife, a coach's grandmother, anything like that. You automatically bet that team. A coaching change, automatically bet the team with a coaching change. Interim head coaches come in. Players like, well, we should probably start playing better because, we're trying to win for, our family and our jobs. So I am taking the Colts here, plus 6.5. I'm sure that line will keep moving, and I'll keep taking it when it, keeps going up. As Jeff Saturday tweeted out like a week ago, the Raiders suck. Not saying not saying we're much better.
Has he looked at the Colts play?
Yeah, he said we suck too. But
there you go.
He publicly didn't tweet that out. So I'm taking the Colts here plus 6.5. Hey, we ain't raising that white flag quite yet, baby.
Corey, how many times have you taken the Colts or like a Colts player in DFS and it's just burned you every time?
I think I've taken the Colts. This will be my third time taking them, and I'm 2-1 with them before. So we'll make it 3-1. This is Josh McDaniel's job. He'll probably be fired next week when you lose to Jeff Saturday.
That's true.
And he would deserve it because go ahead. Because I have a feel like Alex speak some sense into this man.
Yeah. So Colts Raiders. This one's gonna be ugly. The under 42.5 is my lock of the week. Both of these teams are in absolute shambles. I know the Colts have been in the upper quartile of the upper quartile for the last 20 years, but it ain't this year. I mean, Jeff Saturday, dude. Come on, man.
I mean, at a certain point, blackmail on the owner. Like, there's no way this guy gets the job without like some insane backstory.
He's like Frank Reich couldn't get the Colts ready for games, but Jeff Saturday is gonna get them ready for games.
He has to have blackmailed the owner of the Colts. That's the only possibility.
No, they're just buddies. They're like best friends. He's like in the inner circle.
Yeah, exactly. He's got it
all. Corey. But I mean, come on. Peyton Manning said it best. I think we've probably all seen this clip today, but he said, "Hey Jeff, quit calling the fucking plays." When he was calling plays as the center of the Colts. The Colts don't have a guy on their staff who has called a single play.
The Colts, I legit,
that might be good.
They think at this point of where the Colts are, they legit may be the worst team in the NFL. Like they might have the number 1 overall pick, which is good for the Colts. That's what I said the Colts should have done at the beginning of the year, and they didn't intend to do it. But maybe at this point, when you hire Jeff Saturday, that is what they're now trying to do. Like Taylor, I could see being shut down for the rest of the year. It's possible with his injury. Like this team, like Ellinger is the worst starting quarterback in the NFL right now. You have to think Jeff Saturday is the worst coach in the NFL and probably the worst offensive. Like this team's in shambles.
First of all, hang on. Before we both you go, you guys absolutely just ruined Alex's lock of the week. Like, good for you guys. You guys just destroyed whatever great gif he was going to make, and you guys just absolutely trashed it. So,
well, no, he had finished.
No, he couldn't finish because you two Jaglin sound jumped in and just kept talking.
No, I swear there was an ending point there.
No, there wasn't.
Well,
Nick jumped in first, and you jumped on top of it.
Oh, so, okay. Well, that's what I heard Nick talk.
Well, yeah. Well, anytime Nick talks, you should run the other way because you guys are both of you down there on my screen. Like, come on.
Can we do like a community Raiders minus 6.5? Just like.
Hey PB, I will take the Colts here. We'll do it. We'll do another one.
All right, like another just me and you.
Yeah, we'll do it.
How much?
We'll do 50.
All right.
This is hey, like you said, it can't get any worse. And
no, well, I mean,
we'll move on here. We'll move on here in literally just 1 minute because I didn't get a chance to continue after. My whole thing about evaluating quarterbacks, it has to be, you have to give someone an opportunity to be able to shine and if they can't succeed behind something, then yes, they are terrible.
But what does it have to do with this pick? They don't have a good offensive line.
We have a terrible offensive line.
Yeah, so that's my point.
Offensive line.
Okay, but that's my point. You're still making this pick knowing you're like, well, they need time to see if they're a good quarterback.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Colts are gonna win this game, and I'm gonna be laughing to the bank.
The Raiders could just absolutely demolish.
We have a incredible defense, by the way. So Jesus.
The unders
play. Move on.
Under's probably it. Yeah, the Raiders are smoking them.
Man, I should
Um,
pick the Steelers just so I could talk shit too.
You could have. I mean, I didn't take this, but you wanted me to take it against you. Okay. We got maybe we can all kumbaya with this next pick, but I don't know if we're all going to be on the same side here. Cowboys going to play the Packers.
I told you not to bet the Packers. Did I not tell you guys to not bet the Packers?
You
Who
did.
bet the Packers
you?
last
I
week?
did. I've done
Yeah.
it 3 weeks in a row.
I told you guys. Don't do it.
Well, maybe Corey, are you going back to the well with me? Because I haven't bet the Packers and I didn't bet them last week, but
This
do
is
it.
the game you're taking the Packers.
Don't do
yeah,
it.
I am.
They
Wait, so
just lost
first am I
Duke
on my
and
island?
Rashawn Gary.
Am I on my own island here, or are you two on
Yeah, you're definitely on Packer Island by yourself.
Corey?
I'm on the total.
Oh, okay. So, who you go first then with the total?
I'm gonna take the over here. Over 43. I think both these teams, especially with the Steelers, they actually have a successful offense right now, and with the Packers defense looking kind of, I mean, it's been okay, but they, like Nick just said, they just lost Gary to a torn ACL. That hurts. And the trends in this game, 14 of the last 20 have gone over between the Packers and the Cowboys. I honestly think you have to believe that Aaron Rodgers is probably the most pissed off person in the entire NFL right now, maybe behind Tom Brady, but Tom Brady just got to win. I mean, he might be more pissed off about this than he is about people trashing his name before, being immunized and for last year and like him being thrown under the bus. They have to score points. You can't score points against the Lions. I understand this is the Dallas defense, and like we're talking about, Super Bowl Dallas Cowboys. Like, I think this is a get right for the offense. I don't know who wins. I'm not taking the Packers again because, like I said, they've burned me the last 3 weeks. But I will be safe. I will take the over 43.
Nick.
Yeah, I'll just say that I have zero sympathy for Aaron Rodgers. Okay, he had his out and he decided to go back to a team that doesn't prioritize offensive playmakers. So I have no sympathy for him. He's going to continue getting crushed. This Cowboys team's coming back together. Dak healthy for a couple weeks now. They're looking good. So I don't think they're going to, falter against a Packers team who has their glimmers of hope. Rashawn Gary, great defender, and Romeo Dubes has provided a little bit of relief to Rodgers, both of which are not there anymore for the next couple weeks. I mean, Gary's done for the year. So, yeah, I really like what the Cowboys are doing using Tony Pollard more. So for that reason, I just have to go with the Cowboys here. -5.
Yeah, so I'm on the Packers side in this game.
You're gonna regret it.
Maybe, but this is the time of the year when like playing in like Lambeau Field starts to it gets a bit frigid, especially when you're from Dallas and you're playing in a dome all the time. And this is like the time of the year, like we see it time and time again. I do think Rodgers is no longer elite. Like, I don't think he's like completely washed, but I do not think he's elite. I think he's like an average to above average quarterback. But in Lambeau Field against this Cowboys team, I just think the Packers at +5 in Lambeau, like we rarely get that opportunity. I know the Cowboys are coming off of bye, but like I don't think Mike McCarthy is like a good coach by any means. And Zeke's coming back, which is only good for the Packers. Oh man. I just think that that Rodgers can put it together here when everyone's counting them out and get it done. I think a lot of people are going to be on the Cowboys this week.
Oh yeah,
No, everyone knows.
The large majority of the public will bet the Cowboys.
Yeah, and like the line's still at 5. Like, I mean, it's rare you are on the against the public betting the Packers at home and at +5. Usually you're betting the publics on the Packers when they're like -11 against a team. Like this is just a really good spot for the Packers. It's probably going to be a sweat. But yeah,
I feel like
Packers.
the
I think the Packers
D-line-
could win this.
feel like the D line to O line discrepancy between the Cowboys D line and the Packers O line is just going to destroy the Packers in this. Like Rodgers is going to have no time and no one to throw to.
Ooh, I just think this is one of those games where we see like Trevon Diggs, where everyone raves about the guy, but we know he's not that great of a cornerback. He just is a playmaker and will make big plays, but then he gives up massive plays. And I think we see a little bit of that in this game.
The other thing is you can kiss goodbye the OBJ talks to Green Bay.
Yeah,
So-
he's probably going to go to the Cowboys or something.
Cowboys
mean-
and Bills.
He can keep waiting and waiting and waiting until December.
He's going to the Cowboys for sure.
Yeah, that's where I would,
Makes
that's
sense.
where I would guess.
I think the Bills, but the Cowboys
Dolphins?
definitely make sense too.
Yeah,
The
I-
Dolphins?
well,
Oh, gosh.
either way, yeah. So we're kind of across the board in that game, but Nick, good luck.
Thanks.
Yep. All right. Last game. We have the Chargers going to play the 49ers. Are both these teams coming off buys?
No, Chargers.
No, the Chargers just played. The
Falcons on a
49ers are
second
coming.
field goal. Just
That's right.
That was a wild ending to that game.
Yeah, that really was.
Chargers going to play the 49ers coming off the bye. We'll start with Alex.
Yeah. 49ers coming off a bye, like you said, getting a bit healthier. Debo has been practicing early in the week here. I got 49ers -7 at home against a really banged up Chargers team who I don't think will for sure not have Mike Williams, and Keenan Allen. I don't think plays either. We'll see. But that hamstring is clearly a bigger issue than I thought, at least a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, this Chargers team, I feel so bad for them because there's always something with injuries. Like last year is the defensive side.
Every year. I think it's every
They just can't get over it. But for that being said, I do like the Chargers here. The -7, but again, I'm playing it safe this week. I like the over here at 45.5. I know the 49ers are definitely healthier on defense, and they are getting players back, and the Chargers are kind of limping into this game with no offensive weapons on the outside for Herbert. But the 49ers have a lot of offensive weapons now. You got McCaffrey there. He's been there for 3 weeks now and off a bye. He's had time to come into the offense. You got George Kittle. Debo should maybe be back this game. A lot of offensive firepower on that side. And I just think that this is a close game. I really do. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. The last 14 or 10 of the last 14 games for the Chargers have gone over. San Francisco's a little bit different on that side. They've gone 12 out of the last 16 have gone under for them. So something's going to give there. So I'm going to take the over here. I lean Chargers. If this game was being played in SoFi, I guess it really doesn't matter at that point because they
don't have home games.
That team doesn't have home games. But yeah, so just give me the over here. I want to see a great Sunday night football. A lot of points scored.
All right. Well, that'll do it for this week's episode. We'll be back tomorrow breaking down the DFS slate. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.